First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for Up Next at postwrestling.com, whatever podcast app you're listening to. And of course,
we are live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, postmarks. How are we doing?
Yes. Hello, postmarks. Hello, NXT friends.
Friends.
We'll always be your NXT friends here at Post Wrestling. Hello. It's Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. We're halfway through the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you may be. And we're here. We're reunited, back live on the Post Wrestling channel. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope you're doing all right. How are you doing, Davie? Welcome back.
I'm all right. Yeah. It's been battling jet lag the last few days. It's came back Friday night, but then sort of went right back into night shifts and then on day shifts, and we had SummerSlam and all that. So body is in a bit of shock right now, but I'm good. I had a lovely trip back home, and I've kind of been living under a rock. So did I miss anything big while I was away?
Did you say you're living under a rock? What are you living under? Oh, sorry. Right. Living under a rock. Nah, nothing's happened. Nothing's happened in the world of wrestling. Nothing to be too concerned about.
Okay, cool.
I don't think so. Cardi B was the host of SummerSlam. I don't know if you...
I saw SummerSlam. I saw SummerSlam, right. But yeah.
So you didn't see Cardi B that much then, at all then, really, either. No, you haven't missed a whole lot. You haven't missed anything at all. We do a show every week, usually, not just this show, Sundays, where we kind of talk about everything else in the world of wrestling. We haven't done that in a little while too, because we didn't want to go live Sunday because there was a whole pay-per-view to watch and talk about. So there is quite a lot to catch up with while you were gone. Shout out Jordan Goodman, B Detroit, and Jack from Post Wrestling filling in the last 2 weeks of Up Next while you were away. But it's good to be back. Have you watched any wrestling while you were away? Did you make Mom watch any wrestling while you were there? No. Right?
Honestly, no. All I watched was I think Takeshita and Shingo. I think that's the only thing I put on.
It was good.
I was curious how WWE would handle the passing of Hulk Hogan, so kind of watched the 10 bell salute. And then I was like, yeah, that's enough of that. And yeah, that's about it. I haven't, coming back, going straight to work and then having SummerSlam, I wasn't able to catch up on NXT. Normally when I do take time off, I try and catch up, but I just haven't had a chance. And especially with a 2-night SummerSlam, it kind of wrote that off. So I was trying to fill in the blanks watching the show today. It's tough storytelling a lot of the time. So you miss a couple of episodes, like what is going on?
No, that's just normal NXT. That's just how NXT is now.
Yeah.
You miss 2 weeks and they're trying to promote Emergence and Triple Mania and Heat Wave. And you're just like, oh yeah, NXT, even when you do watch, you still don't really know what's going on this show. So I can't say you missed a whole lot in the last few weeks. So don't stress too much.
Undertaker and Santino, by the sounds of it, bring the big guns to NXT.
Yes, you missed the Cobra, but don't worry. You can fill in the blanks. You can catch up on what we talk about here tonight, and we will talk about tonight's episode of NXT like we do every week. Hello, welcome to Up Next. 10:05 p.m. after NXT. We're right here on Post Wrestling, and we will be back like we always are next week as well. But we do have some housekeeping. We were away from the Patreon for 2 weeks, but we're coming back all the guns blazing. We just recorded a What's Next. We're your NXT friends, and we mean that because we go deep on our shows on the Patreon. One of them is called What's Next, and we've been going back and reviewing NXT from the very beginning, and we've made it past to the first ever arrival, but now we've done the first ever takeover, and now we just reviewed a show looking at the June 5th 2014 edition of NXT.
You know, it was really funny. I worked today and then came right home, watched this 2014 edition of NXT, recorded with you, and there's a line in it where Tyler Breeze says something about Maybelline and Neville, and that he should use Maybelline or something like that. And then I
forgot. This is the line he used. Yes.
Yeah. And switch on NXT tonight, and right in the middle of the mat is Maybelline as the sponsor. So the weird Poisonrana coincidences continue.
Yes. Well, we talk all about, what is it? Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, and the debut of his music video, plus Charlotte, the newly crowned NXT Women's Champ, versus Bayley in a match you didn't realize happened on NXT. And shout out the BFFs and Sasha and Summer Rae and so much more. And you can go and check out all the episodes of What's Next, where we go back and review all the old NXT. And it's so much easier now. Shout out the WWE Vault YouTube channel, because they upload everything. There's an NXT Vault where you can watch all the old NXTs if you're crazy like us and want to go back and watch. So that's a show coming out on the Patreon for our NXT friends. But we're also going to be on the move tomorrow. We're going to be making the trip to Cleveland from Toronto to check out Dynamite. And our friend Shane's going to be doing the drive-in. And we thought, well, since we're back together hanging out in a car, we're going to be reviewing. I mean, we're not going to be reviewing anything. We're just going to be recording ourselves with some road diaries tomorrow. And I'm sure we'll do some catching up as well on your trip back home and everything. So a lot of Snap Ranas and behind the BDEs to come soon this week. We're going to make it up to you and have a whole lot of fun and a lot of laughs on our journeys. And we'll go to Dynamite tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that on a show coming back to the city as well.
Yeah, what have we got? Bro Dido versus the Bucks, and Mark Briscoe versus MJF. So sounds like a good one. They're going to have to, Forbidden Door is fast approaching. They're going to have to heat up some angles, I think. So I'm looking forward to Dynamite tomorrow.
Yes, and someone might interrupt Mercedes Moné. I wonder who that might be, and a whole lot more. So we'll talk about that and some more. So patreon.com/Poisonrana. Get those shows. Plus, we're going to be doing some new episodes of The Champ is Here. That will be returning. And I think I don't know. I asked you, and I didn't know if you said yes or not, but I can ask you now. I wanted to do a movie review, and I recently just went and saw Fantastic Four. And I thought back, I hadn't watched that 2005, one of my favorite years ever, meaning there was a movie, Fantastic Four, that came out in 2005. So I was wondering if that would make for a funny review. So not sure if that's something we could do. I know you haven't seen the new one yet, but you definitely got to go check that out. So that's another show coming soon.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check out that and the new Naked Gun, which I'm hearing great things about. So
I just saw it today. Oh my God. Hilarious. Just like 90 minutes, nonstop jokes just being shot at you. And you want to be put in a good mood, go watch this movie. It is so funny. So we're gonna be looking at some fun stuff over on the Patreon. So check it out. And hey, we have an Instagram, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Search Poisonrana in your Facebook, etc., and give us a follow and in your podcast app, because we have lots of different shows that we do. But you mentioned there was a 2-night SummerSlam, and I mean it's still fresh in our minds because we had a little SummerSlam barbecue on Sunday. Mm-hmm. Your barbecue skills were immaculate. What did you have? You made your own burgers?
I made some burgers, and then we had some ribs, we had some chicken, we had some sausages, some halloumi. Yes,
shout out,
Farm Boy. The halloumi.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was good. And then had some of the boys over, put on SummerSlam. I thought a mixed bag. I thought there was actually some really good stuff across the weekend on both nights. I really enjoyed the main event of night one with Punk and Gunther. I thought that was a really good, classic pro wrestling match between the two. I quite enjoyed the opening tag on night one. The cash in, yes, John the Vision Pollock, as Jamie's saying in the chat. You know, it wasn't really a ruse, was it? Like, I mean, aside from like fooling everyone about being injured, like, what did he do that he wouldn't have been able to do if he didn't fake an injury? You know, like.
Well, he was just making you not expect it, I guess, was the ruse. Like, hey, I'm not actually hurt.
It didn't help him win the championship, did it? It wasn't like he's in the ring playing injured and then catches with a roll up or whatever. Like, Punk's had the match. He comes out with the crutches and they're like, jokes, I'm not injured. Like, it didn't really help him win the title. So it was a little like, I don't know. I think I like the idea. I kind of like the idea trying to fool everyone and play with this injury angle and stuff like that. But in execution, I'm just like, mate, you could have just come out anyway after the match and cashed in.
Was it because he didn't want Punk to know, like, to get him off his guard until the very last second when he's
sure,
like,
and then he spends 5 minutes coming to the ring. Like,
yeah, where Punk could have hightailed it.
Yeah,
totally I get it. I get that totally, but it's weird, you know. I almost we got to shout out the Godfather, John Pollock. I mean, never don't trust him, whatever the saying is. You should always trust
Don't
John.
doubt him.
Yeah, don't ever doubt Jopo. You should know, yo. But I did kind of doubt him. I did go, well, why would they do that, right? And then it was a video on social media. Was it like Becky Lynch? Whenever it's like him on crutches with the daughter. And I don't know, the sick weirdo wrestling fan inside of me was like, oh, he's lying. It's a fake. He's lying. Oh, that's a fake. That's a fake. And then I was sold after that video did the opposite for me. It totally confirmed, oh, this guy's Sandman. He's at home on crutches selling this fake injury. I'm like, now I do not believe he's injured. And
as I said, like, I appreciate some of the lengths they went to try and make this. But for me, there were just so many gaping holes in it. Like, you know, the whole Goldberg getting cut off because they went, well, Seth's injury through the timing of the show. It's like, okay, well, if Seth got injured early in the match and the match was meant to go 10 minutes longer, that means you have more time at the end of the show, not less time. Like, it's stuff like that where I'm going, I don't know about that one.
It's a good angle. Like, I think it was the best decision. Like, what kind of sucks is it kind of like Gunther's had just this really weird year, because I like the match with Punk. I don't know if it got to a level I was quite maybe expecting. I heard such good things of their matches on the like house shows that they had done like in this past year, but it was still good. But I thought the cash in itself was really well done. Like Seth with the crutches alone, like you knew it was happening the second he came out there. But the like what's the movie with the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? It's totally like all of a sudden just throws the cane away, starts like, hey, oh, and then he comes on in. I thought it was really well done, but I do get your question of like, well, you could have just shown up anyways, and he didn't necessarily run away from you when you tried to like cash in. So that does make a lot of sense. But
like, if you think if it was like, if he's coming down to the ring in the crutches, he goes into the ring with Punk, he starts a promo going like, okay, you're the champion now. As soon as I'm better, I'm coming for you. And then kicks him in the balls, throws the crutches away, smacks him, and cashes in. Then the injury can actually play into the cash in. But instead, he's, like,
Willy Wonka.
Jokes, not injured. I'm going to now dance to the ring for the next 5 minutes. And
like, it was good. You know, it's funny because CM Punk has cashed in on two people. Has he not? Like, Jeff Hardy and what, Batista or Edge? I think, Edge. So also, now he knows what it feels like.
This is Punk's third championship since returning to wrestling that has lasted like not even a day, right? Because he had the 2 injuries with the first 2 wins, and now this one being cashed in. But I did really enjoy the match. I'd like to see them go at it again. But I think what I find with both of them is, you know, neither of them are the flashiest wrestlers. Like if you look at like Gunther's moveset, it's what? Powerbomb, lariat, sleeper, chop. Like, it's not necessarily the most exciting moveset, but I think they both do the little things really well. And I think that's what I really appreciated in the match. Even like, there's a bit, the thing I hate when people are in the Tree of Woe and they're just hanging, waiting for a move. There was a moment where Punk is like in the Tree of Woe and he's reaching for his feet, like trying to untangle them. And it's those little details where I think those two have something a lot of other people should have. Like it's Bret Hart, Bret is always looking at those little details to make it believable. And I thought that's what I really enjoyed with that match. But I think overall I enjoyed night 2 a lot more, I would say.
Oh, easily, like night and day. I thought night 1 was pretty bad, like minus the cash in. Like again, the main event was probably what saved that show for a lot of people, and the cash in being the big moment and everything. But I really did not like night 1. It felt like an episode of Raw, like with the tag matches and I don't know, Jelly Roll and stuff. Like Jelly Roll, hey, bless him, because he ate some of that stuff. Like I heard that he was training with our boy Stacks down in NXT and like broke a finger or something like that. Like he still went through with the match, and like dude has looked a lot better. Like has lost a lot of weight and everything. Yeah. Like he looked like he put some things into it. Like for me, I know the celebrity thing is already for a lot of people like, oh, whatever, but he just feels like he's been some sort of industry plant for a while. And I can't say I'm super known to his stuff, but he went in the ring and he performed. So like, cool, good for him. But I can't say it that necessarily like it wasn't no Bad Bunny, No,
so, for a celebrity match, though, I thought it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. There were some big spots in there. He took that table bump and all that. I enjoyed it. I did really enjoy that opening tag match. It was like it's the fastest I've seen Roman move for a long time. Like that dive over the top was pretty cool.
And wanted his shoes back.
I think Bron Breakker especially is just so much fun to watch. So I had some fun with that one. But
night 2, like and then like for what seems like for years now they've been trying to do something with Cardi B just because of like her wrestling fandom and social media and all that. And I know they announced her like a year ago, 2 years ago, then she had a baby, so then they couldn't do it, and then they do this, and I can support Cardi B again, celebrities in wrestling, this and that, rock and roll connection, okay, but she came out there and said a total of like 6 words and needed cue cards to say what she was saying. Welcome to SummerSlam. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you like to see Logan Paul get beat up. It was like, what? And then not to be ever seen again, except maybe in the crowd.
Yeah, I got the feeling that because she was all over those first promos, like video packages for SummerSlam, and then she was really de-emphasized the last couple of months. And I wonder if they did have bigger plans, and then at the end it was because you think she'd be there both nights if she was hosting it, right? And
both nights just in a backstage segment, in like literally
like anything. having a something with Chelsea Green or something like that, like a comedy heel woman who she can do something out there with. Like you'd have thought there would have been some more with her, and I just think maybe like as it was getting closer, it was almost like the Travis Scott stuff. Like, oh, actually, we don't have her like we originally thought we would.
Like she just didn't like the fact that you can just tell she's straight up reading it. Like it's like, oh, you couldn't remember where you are. Like it's SummerSlam. Like, just say that and you're fine. But I thought that was weird. And like again, I like Cardi B when she seemed a little fall off right now. But I don't know. I was expecting something just from the commercials that they air. But I guess they quietly moved away from that stuff. Yeah, like the Travis Scott stuff too. But yeah, I can't say I like night 1 that much, but night 2, honestly, like was a great SummerSlam. Imagine if it was just one night.
Yeah.
And you took the best stuff.
Get rid of the cage match, get rid of Sami Zayn carrying Cross, like have it a 10-match card. Could have been an all-timer SummerSlam, I think. Like I thought the women's triple threat to kick things off on night 2 was awesome. Excellent. Some really good stuff in there. I like this story they're continuing with Rhea and Io. Like Io was pretty good on Raw last night, just being like, "You will never beat me."
Yeah,
she's like, "Sure, we can have the match, but you will never beat me."
Misawa Kawada
exactly.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. I thought Naomi coming out with her father playing her to the ring was awesome.
Yeah. Epic.
And then I thought Lyra Becky was disappointing. Just felt overbooked. I thought there was some really good stuff in there, but for me, as soon as we saw that those cable ties come undone, and we're watching Lyra put them back on and have the ref tighten them for her, it was like, come on.
Only for the big, because I imagine the reason she went back to it is because they had this big like spot where she's supposed to bust it open, but then they botched that, so it was like weird things in a row.
Like, it was, there were a couple of cool things she did, like the belly to belly with it on, and then obviously the moonsault. But I don't think the payoff was big enough. And I think once it was blown, you go, that's a shame, but you move on. And I think maybe someone a bit more experienced would have just rolled with it. But it took all of us out of it watching. We're like, man, I can see the referee tightening them. Like, why is the referee tightening these cable ties?
Even the crowd reacted to it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because if you're watching and you maybe because your view in the stadium, you look at the screens and clearly it showed what we all saw at home, and you just heard this reaction of like,
and then the Bailey stuff just hasn't really been working, and that felt really overbooked at the end.
Yeah,
which was a shame, because I think Becky and Lyra have great chemistry, and I think there was some really good stuff in that match, but just a couple of like unfortunate events I thought that just took us out of it.
It's like, okay, my hands are tied, and then it gets exposed, and she's like, no, I have to pretend that they're still locked together, only for the ref to then tighten it, and then the hope spot is to break out using the fire extinguisher, and then that didn't work, so then clearly had to go and like get scissors or something. So it was just kind of awkward. I was expecting just a solid like those two are good. I was expecting something I think they just overthought it and did too much silly stuff in it.
Yeah.
But there was the TLC match. It's epic. Just added the chaoticness, the old school. I think of like SummerSlam 2000, like, hey, let's just throw a random, you guys go out there and kill yourselves. And this was 12 dudes.
Kill Candice LeRae as well.
And Candice LeRae. Yeah. Oh man, what a bump she took. But this was crazy. The Wyatt Six retaining. There was some crazy spots, but I gotta shout out Ciampa with that upside down, I don't know, Spider-Man thing he did. Like, the dude is in crazy shape, but to hang there at the length he did, and then only to like backflip up into it even more. That was pretty incredible.
I think this tag division, and definitely SmackDown, is the place for tag team wrestling in WWE right now. Raw, the division is so threadbare. But SmackDown, they've built it up quite nicely over the last like 6 months or so. But I think it might be Gargano and Ciampa who have brought some really fresh ideas to these TLC matches. The one on SmackDown just after WrestleMania was awesome. This one was awesome. But you're seeing stuff that we haven't seen. They've been able to find fresh things to do in the TLC spot. And I think having the tease of, the Edge Jeff Hardy spear to kind of flip it on its head, literally with Ciampa flipping on his head to hang upside down, I thought was great. And I think it's stuff like that that's going to make this remembered. Whereas for how many years on this show have we said, oh, it's another ladder match, another TLC match. Like, it's going to be people climbing to the top. Should I grab the title or should I jump and do something stupid? Oh, I'll jump. And they become very forgettable. But I found this one and the one on SmackDown really enjoyable and a lot better than some ladder matches we've seen over the last few years.
Yeah, like I think back to that SmackDown one that was after Mania, right? Like, that one was great. I think maybe most people might say that one was just above this one still.
I think so. I think also it had a bit more novelty. It felt a bit fresher, but I love this match as well.
Yeah, I still love this. Like, again, you add this stipulation, but 12 guys all doing crazy stuff for 16 minutes. Like, that's pretty great. So I thought this was a step up, and like all the teams had great little spots and picked the best things. Like, all of them were doing some pretty awesome stuff. So that was a lot of fun. We mentioned Becky and Lyra, Solo and Jacob in the cage match. It was kind of whatever there for me. Not in the higher end of the.
You could have had this on a SmackDown main event. I think there were a few matches. If this was a one night SummerSlam and you save some of those big matches for SmackDown, this is one I'd have put on there.
What does JC stand for? Jeff Cobb Mateo?
I guess his name? So. Yeah, Jesus Christ Mateo. Yeah.
I don't know about this bloodline stuff. Like almost forgot that this was still going, and it continues. I guess Dominic Mysterio versus AJ, with AJ coming out with the whole Eddie tribute, even with his kid with the blonde hair. SummerSlam 2005. Never forget. What great tights from AJ, and a lot of shout outs to Eddie Guerrero. You know, every time you go to a wrestling show, it seems you're going to see in some way, shape, or form someone do an Eddie Guerrero tribute spot. But this was the right time to do all the Eddie Guerrero tribute spots. Even the one where AJ put the chair in his head was a nice little touch to this. And I kind of wanted AJ to get this because maybe Dom can go win the AAA Mega Championship sooner rather than later. But this was a lot of fun.
It feels like this might be continuing though as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I think fun is the right word. I don't think this was a classic by any means, but I think a lot of people have turned the corner with Dom and are just really enjoying him as an act. And I think AJ in this kind of goofy Uncle AJ thing actually really suits him and really works. So this dynamic was like a pleasant surprise, I thought, and I had some fun with that match.
Like the babyface run for Dom will be great in WWE when that finally hits, when it's like it's all working out. I loved Rey Mysterio saying after the match, he was like, "Oh, it was great to see a tribute to Eddie, but 25 years ago, part of me wishes Eddie won the match so he would have had custody of this dirtbag Dominic." Thought that was pretty funny. And then, you know, AJ, he said this was his last SummerSlam ever.
He said he said it could be. I don't know, like it. Michael Cole on commentary was like, in what could be his last SummerSlam ever. So we'll see.
Because it's his last SummerSlam, so he can have his first ever All In next summer, right? That's what he's meant by that, of course, maybe, right?
Yeah.
I'm still going to go for bat for that, even though I know I'm wrong. And then the main event, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, no Travis Scott in this one. The street fight. I guess the precursor to this is, hey, John Cena just turned babyface again. He was just like, hey, guys, I'm joking. I was just joshing. I was goofing you the whole time. The Rock made me do it, man. What the hell? What was that all about? You made me. Well, you didn't make me, but I hadn't watched it. And before SummerSlam, I was like, I need to see how bizarre this segment was. And that's what it was. It was bizarre.
The whole thing has been just a disaster, I think. I think this is my big problem with WWE right now. And you know, we kind of got this in AEW, I thought. Like around year 3, you kind of felt Tony Khan had gone through all his ideas, and then it was just
in the Green Book. Yeah.
It wasn't as long-term storytelling and that kind of thing. And I feel this a little bit with Triple H's booking right now. Even the video at the beginning of SummerSlam is about creating viral moments. It's all about moments now. It's not about stories. It's wouldn't it be a moment if John Cena turns heel? Okay, but where do we go from there? And it ended up being, you know, I assume they thought they were going to have The Rock around and Travis Scott, and then they weren't. So the story immediately turned to just you people. You people were booing me all this time. And it was just odd. And it just didn't feel right. And I think all of us as wrestling fans were excited and wanted to see what this heel John Cena was. But it just hadn't been planned out and hadn't been thought. And then you just go, abandon ship, pivot. Yeah.
Okay. You said it, like the heel run. I love the moment. We were there. Cena turning heel. Wow, what a moment. Why is Travis Scott here? I don't know, but we're going to find out. We never did. We never found out why The Rock was really there. We never found out a whole lot of stuff. So John Cena just decides to just retcon this heel turn and say, you know, I'm really tired of doing these Make-A-Wish things and pretending I'm a good guy again and then pretending I'm a bad guy. Let's just go back to the way things were. I'm just John Cena. I was just joking. The Rock made me do it. It was a bet, and I lost.
He said it would make good TV. It did, but then they fucked off. So I'm just left here
He's
doing
like,
this shit.
yeah. Whenever someone thinks of, hey, how many times did who's won the most world titles? And someone in a barbershop or a bar goes, oh yeah, Ric Flair was 16, and someone goes, nah, John Cena 17. Oh yeah, wasn't that the one where Travis Scott showed up for no reason? Yeah, there's an asterisk of Travis Scott will always be remembered with 17. But think of all this that we're just discussing. They give us all this shit. They give us this bizarre baby face turn. And then on Sunday, they totally redeem themselves with what I thought was a fantastic main event of John Cena, Cody Rhodes, street fight at SummerSlam. That's what we all thought we were going to get at WrestleMania 41. This was the match that we all wanted to see. And I bet Cody and Cena saw all the bad comments, heard all the negativity, some saying one of the worst matches of the year at WrestleMania 40. And they went out there and, in my opinion, had a all-timer SummerSlam main event. It may have had the smoke and mirrors, bells and whistles, all that stuff, but it was awesome.
Yeah, for me, this is one of my favorite WWE matches of the year. I loved this. It felt special. And, you know, I think there's something as ridiculous as the face turn was. It did leave this like weird kind of like shadow on the match where you're going, is he being genuine?
Yeah.
Like, and I thought that was great. I thought it was a nice little like added wrinkle to this match where you go, you know, even starting with the hug and you're like, oh, he's going to kick him in the balls again. And just, I thought like, this is the best John Cena's looked for years. And clearly I think this was the match where he's like, I'm throwing everything at this. Also, he's working as a babyface again. So he's got to work a bit more, you know, bit of a faster pace, pulling out a few more moves, that kind of thing. But, and even the goofy, like, and it was so goofy, the rising from the Cody Vader with him on his shoulders. But we've been going through on The Champ Is Here, and how many, you know, last man standing matches or I quit matches or whatever we've seen with John Cena, where he does something ridiculous like this. It felt vintage John Cena to me. And yeah, I loved the match. I thought it was great and completely redeemed themselves. You know, these two had a chip on their shoulder. You know, they were probably pissed off with the just creative. And, you know, if you want to buy into the politics, like maybe differences of opinions between Dwayne and Triple H and that, and which direction they're going to go. I thought they just were like, fuck all that. Let's just factory reset. John Cena's a good guy. Let's have this match as it should be. And as like, yes, I wish that they actually had somewhere in that building a creative bone to write something a little better than we had. But that aside, on the day, the match was great.
Yeah, the whole run itself, I'm sure when they do Unreal Season 2 or whatever we get to, hopefully we get some stories of what actually happened and maybe if they even had plans at all or whatever. But, you know, to change him back to a babyface and then it leaves doubt in your mind watching. You're like, okay, is he going to kick him in the balls? Is Cody going to turn heel? The opening entrance, he used like a Dusty promo and it was like the view never changes or something like that. So right away, you're also like, wait a second. Okay, Cody's going to turn heel here. Like what could happen in this match? And instead it was just no. You know what would even make it better if John Cena in that promo on SmackDown was like, hey, that match sucked. That sucked. Didn't that suck? Let's change that. Let's just have a good match. And that's that's what they went out and did. I think you're right. Thinking of WWE big main events, this has to be one of the better ones this year of the year, like easily. Yeah. And I think a lot of people were expecting this match at WrestleMania, and when it didn't get that, and it was just Travis Scott and like, wait, where's The Rock? It just soured a lot of people. And finally getting, I don't know, what felt like what would happen when you pick up your 2K and you put Cena versus Cody. They're going to kick out of 3 AAs. They're going to hit the super finishers and the Superman kickouts. Well, exactly. And like, that's what it was. And
that's something I was going to say as well. It's like these two people, I think we had, you know, that NXT golden era where we had those great main events. And then it started becoming like these like forced epics where everyone's kicking out of everyone's finisher. It takes 5 finishers to defeat someone and it got overplayed. But if you're going to have a match where two guys are kicking out of each other's finisher, it's these two. It's the two supermen who have been, criticized in their career for kicking out too many finishers. So yes, it should take 4 or 5 finishes to defeat the other person. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so much fun. And credit to John Cena. Like at this point, like we've seen the way he's been moving in these matches and stuff. And he just turned the clock back for me. I thought he was great.
The best he's looked in like 10 years, easily one of his best matches. Honestly, I enjoyed this more than a lot. We've been going back and looking through again. The champ is here. Every month we go through his title reigns, and we've been going through the best of John Cena. And I'd say this is up there. I know this is in recent memory, but this is up there as one of his better big match John for a reason. And Cody winning straight up, like no Travis Scott, no Rocky, just straight up winning was like a pretty big deal. The 17th time is no more. Cody, 2-time champ, and John Cena rides off into the sunset. Is that what happens? He's got to make a pit stop at the Eiffel Tower first, I guess.
Yeah. So then then the show soured on me a little bit.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is Brock Lesnar returning, and there's still an ongoing lawsuit where he's been named, I believe, 44 times on it. The word is WWE legal has cleared him, but it's not that he's still involved in this lawsuit. And just icky for me. And I think, again, that goes back to my criticism of WWE feel they need these moments now. And I think their fans expect these moments. These fans expect heel turns or a return or whatever. And it's as good as a match as that was. If you ended it there, there would have been people going like, oh, well, why didn't The Rock show up? Or, oh, Cody should have turned heel, or just wanting these moments and not being satisfied by just, you've been given a great match, and I think this was it. Like, this is Triple H's, oh, we need another big moment here. Let's pull the trigger with Brock. And it's, I thought it was inevitable this was going to happen, but it just sours me on the company. Like, you kind of do escape in we said there were some great matches on this show, and then that just kind of reminds me of the shitty people involved in this company.
Yeah, I honestly didn't like night one. Excuse me, didn't like night one a whole lot, but really thought night 2 was one of the better WWE shows this year or in quite a while. And I really got into the Cody John Cena stuff, and then the Brock thing happened. But what was so funny is, like you said, we had some people over, and Cena standing there, and all of us in the room are like, okay, like someone's gonna show up here because Cena's just chilling. Like, it's like Punk in the ring the night before. Like, okay, hold on, wait a second, something's gonna happen. And we all were like, who's showing up? And we're all like, I don't know, Rock, Brock, Travis Scott, I don't know who. And then his music hit, and I stood up like, oh man, like, really? And I don't know. Do we need Brock right now? Is this something that, like, I'm trying to, like, dirt sheets and everything in the last few years. It's like, well, John Cena wants this. No, John Cena didn't want this. He's just doing what John. It's like, do we want this? Do people really need to see this right now? Like, whether or not their legal team cleared him and this and that, like, it's just like, do we even, is that the last match, or is that just the Paris?
I think that's match? Paris. I mean, it's this whole Cena run has been the greatest hits, really. It hasn't been necessarily to, I mean, I guess Cody is a fresh opponent for him somewhat, although we have talked about multiple Cody matches on our show. But, this version of Cody Rhodes, the main eventer. But everyone else is just people he's got a past with. So, and Brock does fit that. And you see it. You see it on the discourse online. There's a lot of people who don't care, who they're just excited that their character in their universe they watch is back, and they don't care about the other stuff. And you've got to think like how does some of the women in the locker room feel about this. You know, it's not just, you know, these allegations and we're like, oh, this guy, bad man and shouldn't be on TV. But this is a company that has a history, a really bad history with the way their female talent have been treated, right back to Rita Chatterton, you know, Ashley Massaro. You've got the whole like bra and panties matches and Vince making out with just random women like old enough to be his granddaughter, you know, like there's all this like weird shit over the years, and it's like Triple H, whenever he's asked about it, just gives the worst answers.
Oh, brutal.
Like, how easy is it to go, you know, we took these allegations very seriously. Vince is no longer with the company, and we're doing our best to make our company a as safe a place for our employees as possible. But like, and leave it there. You don't need to comment. You know, oh, well, we're at this stage of the lawsuit or whatever. Like, but just giving something that gives their audience a bit of faith that, you know, this is a safe place for people. And I think, yeah, I think people are wrong for criticizing people for feeling a certain way about it. And yeah, I wonder how a lot of that female talent feel about a Brock Lesnar coming back.
What's funny is, hey, we're not doing post presser scrums or anything. We're not, well, we're doing scummy things, but we're not doing any of these post pay-per-view PLE interview things with like the journalists, if you want to call them that, et cetera, et cetera. And then the next day it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So like, that's a little sus. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyone who like is maybe defending like, well, he's innocent and they found him innocent and the allegations. Okay. Have you read all of this stuff? Are you read up on all this stuff? Just go look it up. Check out postwrestling.com, Brandon Thurston's work, John Pollock's work. Just educate yourself before maybe you decide to be like, oh, well, yeah, he's just read. If you can do that, read is like, right. And then like Triple H to say that stuff about Vince McMahon, like, man, it is so hard to get behind this company when, well, those are allegations, right? Allegations are allegations. It's like, for fuck's sake, dude. Yeah. You know, don't say anything.
Person,
yeah.
Right?
Like, it's a big WWE weekend. Hold on. Triple H is going to go say some weird shit. And maybe he picked up that weird shit when I saw him all over the news standing next to the president when the president's being asked about Jeffrey Epstein, and Triple H's big nose is just right there on TV everywhere all week. People are like, what? Who's that guy? Who's this dude next to? Oh yeah, it's Triple H. Yeah. He'll be vice president in like 3 years. Don't worry, he'll be part of this idiocracy. Look, if there's no reason for Brock Lesnar to be in trouble, why take away the pressers the weekend he comes back? That's pretty like,
because they don't
know
something is
wrong
on this stuff.
I guess there's enough wrestling fans that do want to see it and will make them more money and this and that and this and that. I don't know. Does the
company need Brock Lesnar right now?
No.
Yes. Okay. There's history with Cena and Lesnar. Like, they've got a history. Okay. But there's other matches you can go to. We talk about it when we're talking about NXT. How many fucking like companies and wrestlers that are involved with WWE now? You know, you've got your NXT talent, you've got LFG, AAA, like all of these sort of things. You've got so many wrestlers under there, and you finally got a point where you've got a lot of wrestlers on the main roster who are over. And Cena has 9 dates left. He's probably going to wrestle 2 more times.
It's probably Brock and AJ that's left, like, right? Like,
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah. And yeah, there's not much time. Do you need a Brock match in there? Like, is it worth risking all the criticism and stuff like that? Because I don't think at this point Brock's going to help business. Business is good as it is. You're going to put off so many people by doing it. So why? It's not like Brock's in his prime anymore. I mean, he still looks like an absolute monster, but he's not in his prime anymore. you already kind of wrote him off anyway with the last match with Cody before everything came out. Do we need him? Is he worth all the like shit that's going around? Or at least wait until this lawsuit's over. Like once it's had its time in court or arbitration or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's just not like they're gonna make money while they can make money. Like I'm sure that there's probably hundreds of people that bought the shirts already. That like some people either don't know or don't care. And that's like wrestling fans, right? Like we're maybe in the minority of being the internet wrestling and nerdy and all that kind of stuff. But there's a huge population of these people who just don't know, don't care. It's wrestling. It's whatever. It's Brock Lesnar. So it's just then as a viewer, you're like, well, why do I have to feel icky when I'm watching something that's stupid like wrestling? Yeah. Why do I have to choose? Why do I have to watch a show where they keep telling me for the last 15 years in interviews and media clips that we're not political anymore? We don't do that kind of stuff. Then why are you in the fucking White House? And why are you playing these fucking clips on the show, man? Because here I am being like, oh, look, I am actually praising that I loved night 2 of SummerSlam. But then you do shit like that, just goes,
playing it in like New York, New Jersey, as like, well, of all places. Like, yeah, they're gonna love just seeing Trump, aren't they?
Just
in MetLife Stadium there, right? Like,
and you know, wrestling is my escape. Wrestling is the one thing that I can, turn on and whatever. And then I see the Trump stuff. Then Brock Lesnar comes back and it's like, fuck, they really do make it hard. And look, Brock versus John Cena one more time. Cool. Will I selfishly watch it? Yeah, I probably will. Is it something I needed to watch? No, it's not going to be. It can't be good. I mean, the Cena Cody match was good, but come on, Brock. I don't need to see that in 2025. And it's so bizarre that it's not even bizarre. No, it's not, because it's WWE. Like at Cena's retirement, are we going to have Vince on the screen? Is he going to show up? He's going to be there. At this point, Paul Levesque's going to come out and tell us that Vince is, cool with being back on TV because they're just allegations.
Yeah.
It's crazy to be a wrestling fan when I'm like, you just want to watch dudes wrestle, and like it gets so like beyond that. But the fact that you bring Brock back and then no more of these silly interview pressers and all that stuff, and then all the other people in the wrestling like media and all that stuff, there's a lot of people that you can see what side maybe they're on. Maybe they're on the greener, grassier side when it comes to, it's just business. It's just Brock. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Wow. So bizarre. So bizarre. Of course, you can choose to unsubscribe and not watch on this and that, but wow. You can choose to watch other stuff. You can choose to watch wrestling. Just a great business. I love wrestling. I was buzzing after that show. I was like, oh man, wow, fun show. And then Brock Lesnar shows up.
Yeah, exactly the same. And there's so many the whole Punk Saudi thing just a couple of months ago that left you feeling me feeling icky and stuff. And yeah, and sure, call me a snowflake. Sorry, I've got a conscience. I don't think it's cool. And like, I don't need, just because I like a character on TV, doesn't mean I should like forgive certain shit, and doesn't mean, as I said, like, you would hope it's a safe place for, like, women are the best thing about WWE right now. We said this so many times. The women's roster is great, and I think it's kind of a slap in the face of a lot of those people as well.
Yeah. And like, what are they going to do to stop people? I see someone in the chat saying 89 the brainchild in the chat saying, I await the allegations chant on SmackDown. Like, what are they going to do to combat? Edit out the stuff like we see in TNA with the Tessa chants. She's a racist. Like, they're just powering through, or they'll just sign her at like to WWE because it's like, fuck it, whatever. But yeah, I thought it was a good Sunday show, but that was definitely like had my eyebrow raised, like, interesting. We have a super chat from Jake from the Windy City. Thank you, Jake. He says either this Cena heel turn should have happened a decade ago when he was full time, or they were right all along that he shouldn't have turned heel. Yeah, absolutely. Like, it was not a great run. I don't know if people,
or they should get decent script writers and people in creative. I haven't watched all of Unreal yet, but I see that writer's room, and it's a bunch of white men at least 50 years old. And it's like, come on. And Like,
you know what the problem was?
Have variety of writers, have actual people with degrees in it, not like, oh, well, they're from the wrestling business. Right. Have like decent writers.
You know who?
There was a way to creatively make this John Cena heel turn work, and a way to effectively have him babyface by the time SummerSlam came around. Yeah. And it was pathetic. And people who come at me saying, oh, WWE is the one that tells stories, they tell bad stories. A lot of the time, they're bad stories. And this was terrible.
It needed Freddie Prinze Jr. in the writing.
Yeah, sure.
Make things make sense. So, thank you, Jake. We also have Cyclops is better than Wolverine. Questionable handle there, considering I'm a Canadian. But he says, every time I watch your YouTube videos instead of listening to the pod, I'm at work. And now I'm watching the video, and I'm surprised how y'all look. Y'all voices don't match the faces. Oh, no. Has this happened? Someone thinks our voices don't match what we look like?
I remember, like, way back when listening to, was it Japanese audio wrestling with WH and Chris Charlton? I always thought they were the other way around.
Right.
And was shocked when I learned it was the other way.
Someone, I forget, was it New York or Chicago? One of the events we did in the last few years, someone came up to me and went, oh, Davie Portman, it's so great. Where's Braden? And I was so confused. And then I started talking, and he's like, wait a second, you're not British. Wait, you're Braden and he's Davie? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, okay. And then he bought us a beer, but I forget who that was. But
yeah. Or I've also had the people being like, oh, wow, I listened to you at like 1.5 speed and you sound really different in person.
There's no hate to the 1.5ers out there. We appreciate you out there. But yes, SummerSlam, that was some thoughts on it. Night 2, obviously clearing it. But WWE, like, again, it put me in a good mood of like, oh, that was pretty good. And then just they sour me yet again and will make me not want to watch weekly TV again, because I'm like, come on, I don't want to watch that. Although Brock's not going to be on weekly TV, so he'll just show up in Paris, have his retirement match, maybe a double retirement. Here went the pain retirement tour coming soon. But anyways, WWE shop, I'm sure, have sold a lot of Brock shirts already. Like the views of these videos, millions of views. Yeah, because TKO, right? The UFC, Brock Lesnar, like, I guess it's a big deal for them. But anyways, well, that was us talking about SummerSlam. We do talk about all the other stuff in the world of wrestling. As I mentioned earlier, Poison Rana, search us in your podcast app or social media, because we're going to go live this Sunday, special time of 1 p.m. Eastern, audio and replay available on our YouTube. So check out Poison Rana in Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Search it, give us a follow, and check us out live this Sunday at 1. We'll talk about the fallout from SummerSlam. We're going to talk about some AEW that we're going to tomorrow night, Dynamite, and then we'll talk about everything else kind of going on. I haven't watched it yet, Davie, but can we make a promise to talk about something on Sunday? I know I'm assuming you haven't. Kyle Fletcher versus Dustin.
Oh, okay.
I heard this match is nuts, and I completely forgot. And then by the time I started NXT tonight, I was like, oh, I didn't watch this. So I heard this is awesome. I need to watch it. So Sunday we'll catch up on some stuff. Maybe if you do a bit of catch up on Sunday, maybe some G1 and everything, but we'll talk about everything going on in the world of wrestling this Sunday. And then some road diaries, like I mentioned on our Patreon, covering Dynamite and all that stuff. So look forward to all the stuff. We don't just talk NXT, but we're going to talk about NXT right now. Oh yes. We're going to talk about NXT from Tuesday, August 5th. I should know that. It was my mom's birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Definitely not listening to my NXT review, but that's okay. We talk about NXT from August 5th, 2025 in Florida, down at the PC. And we are kicking things off with Blake Monroe taking on Kelani Jordan. This is all stemming from Blake being a meanie in NXT so far. Kelani saying she's got some sort of an edge, and, well, it's going to come to ahead right here. As soon as Blake makes her entrance, Kelani pretty much chases and attacks her right away. It leads to Blake throwing her out of the ring, throwing her back in, hitting a sling blade for a near fall. This is when you mentioned the Maybelline ad. Yes. Is on the Maybelline New York is in the middle of the ring here. And I do believe that Blake Monroe Mariah May had. There was a commercial that was filmed. It's kind of like her entrance where she's staring at the mirror and then turns away, like maybe she's born with it. And Vic using that line, hey, maybe she's just born with it, Corey. We get a handspring into like a split stunner from Kelani for a near fall. And then she connects with a very nice looking judgment slam, angle slam. Very nice here. You know, we reviewed an old episode of NXT where another Jordan does an angle slam. Jason Jordan, which all ties in together to NXT of just people in NXT hitting angle slams with the last name Jordan. But a very nice angle slam from Kelani for a near fall. There's a headbutt from Blake followed up by a V-trigger when Jordan Grace's music hits. And she runs out in a neck brace, comes chasing after Blake because of this injury. This is where Blake Monroe hightails it out of the ring, leaves the ringside area, runs through the back. Jordan is following her, chasing her, and we see they're in the parking lot in the rain, very stormy night in Florida, and Blake jumps in her car, it looked like an Uber Black maybe, and drives off in the rain, leaving Jordan standing there, and the ref decides to count her out, and Kelani Jordan wins by count out as Blake escapes Jordan Grace. Or should I say Jordan Gertner, who is giving off Joel Gertner vibes with this the
neck brace
here on NXT, but very rainy in Florida.
Yeah, the rain was great, like a nice added touch to it. Yeah, I mean, this was more of an angle. We got a little bit of a match here. I still don't think we've really seen Blake Monroe at her best yet. I think the character hasn't overly been working for me. It feels quite two-dimensional at this point, and we haven't had a proper, serious one-on-one match. So they're building the Jordan Grace story along nice enough. It does get confirmed for Heatwave just down the line in the show. But yeah, it's also like I know I said this last time, but Kelani, it kind of feels they've completely stripped away any of those like heelish tendencies, like the attitude she was having. She just is coming across pure babyface again now, which is interesting.
Yeah, we'll get there, but we can't have her as a heel right now. There's too many heels.
No, but she had a bit of that attitude, didn't she? Yeah. And she's kind of completely dropped that. Like she's doing the babyface victory. Like, oh, I don't want to have this victory. It was a count out. It sucks. That kind of.
No, yeah, I feel you. I think Kalani's time will come when they eventually pull that trigger, but I guess the bigger story is Jordan versus Blake at Heatwave, which I guess should be like that's a big one. Like again, her match here, you're right. I didn't necessarily see enough of Blake. She's hitting like some big moves, but it was pretty over pretty quickly. So I'm hoping Jordan and Blake at Heatwave can be pretty good and have some story and maybe prove some people wrong. The last few weeks haven't been too great with Blake, especially with the promo and the fat shaming and all that stuff. So I'm hoping for something good in that match. Hopefully she heals that neck up before the match as well. We go backstage. We see Chase U. They're getting hyped up for their tag title match next. And they ask Mr. Chase, what are our chances of winning tonight? And Andre Chase says, your chances, I'm going to be honest, 1 in a million. When Kale and Uriah look at each other and go, so you're saying there's a chance? And, well, let's see if they have a chance as they make their entrance. Chase U. I'm going to try to get his name right without looking down at my notes. Uriah, not Uriah Faber, Uriah Connor.
There we go.
Uriah Connors.
Yes.
Right. Yes, of course. And his tag team partner, Kale Dixon. I can remember that one because Kale is what I put in my smoothies. So Chase U taking on Hank and Tank for the tag team championships, honk honk. And early on here, there is some hope spots with Chase U hitting some super kicks, trying to get some like fast pins. There's a springboard stunner. I guess they were like us watching SummerSlam Night 2, and we're hoping for Cena to bust out the real fine china with the springboard stunner. But unfortunately, Cena hasn't pulled that one out. So we got Chase U hitting.
There's still time. There is still time.
Yeah, the AJ match. I'm telling you, that's the last match, and he'll hit it on AJ. So the springboard stunner is a 2 count. And then Chase U hit this like another John Cena move, really, an AA into a powerbomb combo. This was really cool, but somehow Hank and Tank continue on here. Hank ends up kicking Connors in the face. There's like a running splash assist from Hank and Tank. There's a Saito suplex from Tank here, looking real nice. Eventually, Kale sends them to the outside and does a like Fosbury flop here, like does a shooting star over the ropes. Very impressive, and lands on his feet. I should mention Kale in his not quite Nikos Rico's gear, but more like Zack Ryder.
Yeah, it's the one leg. I always find this such a one leg sleeve, and then the other part is shorts.
Pretty funny.
It's a choice.
So this is when they go back in the ring. We come back. There's the honk, and Connors shoves Kale out of the way. So he eats this like big splash combo here. There's then the running power slam. And then this is when things get a little hairy because it's a 1-2. So it's that power slam headbutt combo that Hank and Tank have won all their matches with. They hit it on Kale, and now I'm not sure. I did rewind it twice, but once, but I could not figure out what happened. Was this supposed to be Uriah breaking it up, but he didn't make it in time? So the ref just says that Kale got his shoulder up because the match continues, and then there's like a black hole slam, and then a second power slam headbutt combo on Kale, this time pinning him to retain the tag title. So what happened?
I got the feeling here that it was one of those things where, you know, they do the tag partner slides in to try and break it up, but doesn't make it in time. I thought this was the finish, and it was meant to be the pin here, but maybe the referee got confused because Uriah Connors was sliding in and thought it was meant to be a breakup. Right. Like I can't see like where they are on the pecking order. They're just getting pinned by this finish, right? And I did feel bad for Kel Dixon, who then just gets like fucking picked up and slammed like 3 more times. And you can see Hank, especially at the end, looked kind of pissed about it. But I think it was, I don't think this match was, I think this was meant to be the pin. I think the ref got confused and just held it up. And then he's like, no, the shoulder. So I'll put it on the ref for this one. But it could be Connors was meant to break it up and didn't get there in time. But
I genuinely don't know, because like for anyone who's watched, you know what we're talking about. But like if you're interested and you haven't watched, go check it, I guess, because I was pretty impressed with Kale Dixon and Uriah. This is
the best they've looked. This is the most they've given them. Wasn't a long match, but they got a lot in, and especially like the first minute where they were just all on top of them and hitting their double team moves and stuff. I thought they looked good, and there is something in these two.
Yeah, no, I gotta state that I was actually impressed, and can't wait to see them do more tag team matches like this. Like I was in the short amount of time they were scene stealing for sure, but then that spot happened, and I'm sure that's what people are going to be looking at and talking about. But it's just unfortunate, and of course this happens in wrestling. It's live and everything, but it does make me question, like, was Kale supposed to kick out? Was Uriah supposed to break it up? Did the ref mess up? And maybe we'll hear what happened in the next coming days or whatever, but it was interesting to watch on TV because the ref was like, oh no, he got his shoulder up, and it's like, huh?
Yeah,
dude's just laying there dead, and then he's probably like, what am I supposed to do? And then he gets up, and I don't know if this was just on the fly, but Hank is like, yo, bro, I'm going to black hole slam you through this fucking mat. And then, all right, we're going to the finish again. So, yeah, damn. Bravo for them still finishing the match and making it all coherent. But, hey, it's developmental. You're going to learn. This is live TV, pal. Got to think on the fly. So I still think there's something there with the new Chase U. But still champions. But after the match, the lights go out. And out come Dark State as they attack the champions, and they hit them with the shield bomb and lay the champs out, kind of signaling, foreshadowing that they want the gold, which we'll get to, but we will go to that match down the line. But
yes.
Yeah.
They finally actually say it on this show that we want the tag titles. Yeah. It's like about fucking time. You've been beating these guys up since you came here.
Maybe just ask. That's what Chase U did.
Yeah.
They just asked for a title. You didn't need chairs and attacks and stuff. We go backstage. Fatal Influencer chatting when The Iceman cometh. This is, I forget what is, I know him as Iceman from Destiny Wrestling back in the day, but the consigliere, the concierge?
The concierge for Ash by Elegance.
Yes. So he shows up in a very nice jacket, I might add. And he says that he's right here representing Ash by Elegance. And he's here to shine up the TNA Knockouts title because it's soon going to be coming home to Ash. And JC says, you're not shining. You're not touching my title. Plus, that's Jasmine's job. I think that's what Lainey says as she walks in. So there's a whole lot going on here. Lainey's in here. And Lainey Wilson? No, who is this?
Lainey Reed.
Lainey Reed. I think Lainey.
Oh, wow, I'm impressed with myself there. Yeah.
Lainey Wilson is a country singer, I think. Anyways, she says, hey, isn't that Jasmine's job? So Jasmine goes to walk off to go shine JC's belts as Fallon and JC laugh. But yeah, the Iceman here on NXT, I thought that was pretty cool. This guy's been on TNA TV for a while, but I've known for seeing him in the Ontario independent circuit. So always cool to see another local Canadian show up on TV. But I am confused. Is Ash by Elegance just TNA's Timeless Tony Storm? It's kind of similar, right? Like they're acting as if they're like in like movies and stuff. So I'm assuming that's the Emergence match, which I learned about tonight.
Yes.
They're gonna tell me to watch it, but yeah.
For the TNA Knockouts Championship, right? It's that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. We see Myles. He walks backstage. You know, he's no longer in the No Quarter Catch crew, and neither is Tavion Heights. But here they are backstage, and Myles says, oh, I'm proud of you. And he says, no, I'm proud of you. No, I'm proud of you. And says that I know that you're going to go make an impact. Maybe the choice of words there. Maybe he's going to go to Impact.
So this is something I missed while I was away. So Tavion beat Charlie Dempsey and is out of the group.
Yeah, never mind Hulk Hogan, Brock Lesnar, Davie. The big news.
Sorry, what happened with Hulk Hogan?
Never mind. We'll get to that later. Myles and Tavion are no longer in the No Quarter Catch crew. That's right. You missed a whole lot here. You missed some nuts of weeks. So Myles has a match later against Lexis King, and Tavion says he's going to make an impact sooner rather than later. There's a lot of backstage. We go to the culling with Tatum. She's in a match tonight for the North American title, and they say, we believe in you. We're going to be there ringside for you. And if you beat Soul tonight, you won't have to worry about fitting in because champions don't have to fit in. And she says, I'm going to make you proud. So that's what's happening tonight. This is when Vic Joseph mentions Iceman and that jacket. And Corey says, oh, who is that? A concierge. Oh, I thought it was the Six Flags guy from the commercials, which pops Vic Joseph and Booker T. So we didn't go to Six Flags in Dallas. So we walked by it, though. Our friend Daniel did. He said it was a lot of fun. But do you know what he's referring to? Did you get those commercials in the 90s or 2000s?
No, I mean, we don't have Six Flags in the UK. True. So no. I know what Six Flags are, but yeah. Okay,
so there's like this commercial that like we don't have Six Flags in Canada, but they would still air the commercials to get us to like go there. And it would be like the Venga Boys was the song playing, and it'd be this old weird looking turtle man in a suit, and he's just dancing around the thing. Anyways, I'll show it to you later. It's great. It's not really big.
I'll check it out. Sure.
So
I'll check out that and Dustin versus Carl Fletcher. How about that? We'll talk about it on Sunday.
Well, I know you love the Venga Boys, and the Venga Boys is coming. Yeah. So, yeah, we can talk about the Venga Boys all day.
There's a superior boom, 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 though, and you'll have to listen to What's Next to find out what that is.
No, there's no. The only superior boom, boom is the Costco guys. Come on, what are you talking about? Okay, are you ready for this next NXT gimmick? We haven't had a new one in a while. We haven't had something out of the box. I feel like this is a gimmick that would be your gimmick in real life. Thea Hail Chaotic Coffee. So I'm assuming this is something she's been doing on her social media, but Thea Hail visits a different coffee shop, and then she records little videos and reviews and talks about her day and stuff like that. So sounds like most influencers and stuff, but here she is at some coffee place, something perk, like she says it's all Friends, the show Friends based somewhere. I'm assuming it's Florida. And she orders a coffee, an iced coffee, and she starts to diss Nia Jax here and says that, oh yeah, this place, Central Perk, it's like Friends, you know, those things Nia Jax doesn't have. And then it like cuts to her drinking the coffee and then saying that Nia Jax is a loser. And then she gets all flustered and then goes to leave. But then she's like, I don't even want my coffee. And then she comes back. She's like, I paid a lot of money for this coffee. And then walks off with said coffee.
Is Thea a heel now?
I think she's just had too much caffeine. I don't know. Maybe that's the whole gimmick through all these years of NXT was that she was having way too much coffee.
Yeah, like I was getting slight like I don't know. I found the other week she came across like a little heelish as well. And is this just maybe just a bit more? She's more obnoxious now. I know Nia is a heel, but
yeah,
also like the stuff she was saying was kind of nasty. I don't know. And then shitting on the coffee. Come on.
I know you won't stand for people shitting on coffee.
Yeah,
I feel like this is a gimmick if you're gonna go like her getting coffee. It's like what celebrities in cars drinking coffee, et cetera, but it's just her getting a coffee and then shitting on her opponent. Like at least it's like since leaving Chase U, I know she's only recently come back, but she hasn't had anything else like attached to kind of her name or character or anything. So at least we're trying to get something out of her going forward. So like maybe on first impression it's not necessarily something I liked, but hopefully it can go into a right direction. I also like going to coffee shops. What do you think her order was here? It was an iced something. I mean, considering her character in the last few years in NXT is always hyper, I'm imagining she drinks what you drink when you go to the coffee shop.
What, a quad Americano?
Can you explain to people how psychotic you're almost at the Rob Ford. That's like 6, 7, 8 espresso shots over ice.
4 ounces of espresso in an Americano with oat milk. A little bit of oat.
Anytime we have like wrestling weekends where we're either in our own city or other visiting, and we have our hangover walk with us and all our buddies, whoever we're visiting, we'll always go out and get an iced coffee. And everyone will be like, oh, Davie goes first. And then everyone's like, oh, I'll just get whatever Davie got. And then they're not expecting just a downpour of caffeine entering your blood system. And everyone just always like, what is this? What did you give me? But it works. It wakes you up. Gets you real jacked.
I'm trying to look at, like, she's definitely got like milk in her coffee. Like it's a nice light brown. She's probably got something sugary in it. I bet she has a pump of one of the syrups.
Hey, I like a few pumps. Okay,
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. Everyone likes a few pumps.
I think her coffee was looking. What does our friend Graham always call his coffee? His coffee's perfect when it looks like Halle Berry.
Yeah,
that's what he calls his coffee. It's the perfect amount. He doesn't like. He likes like not too sweet. He doesn't like anything in it.
There's like a perfect point, right? Like you need. Like I like oat milk because it's got a nice, like natural, like creamy taste to it. But you have too much. Like I want to taste the coffee. That's why I like the 4 shots of espresso. Right. Like I like the coffee taste, just something to counteract that bitterness a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely like some sugar, some pumps, some funny stuff in my coffee. But I know you like to do the 4. But I know people that have done like the 6, 9 shots of espresso over ice, and it's absolutely crazy, but I like it just a little bit of sweetener, a little bit of something. It's good. I could talk about. I don't want one right now, but I'm gonna have one tomorrow. I had a dirty matcha the other day. That was pretty.
Oh, cool. I did too.
Nice.
I had an iced strawberry matcha with espresso in it as well. It was lovely, and the strawberries were fresh. They were actual like fresh strawberries in the blender to make the strawberry matcha. It was pretty good. Yeah.
Rusev matcha. We go so. Chaotic coffee, more of that coming soon. We go to our next match, though. Myles Borne taking on Lexis King. The storyline going is Lexis claims that Myles is faking that he's deaf. So Lexis is pretending to be deaf and been walking around with headphones on and acting all deaf and everything. I noticed Myles Borne's got some new music ever since leaving the No Quarter Catch crew, excuse me, but I know it sounds like it's not, but it sounds like it's some song from SmackDown versus Raw 2006. It's got that like 2006 rock kind of vibe, but better than majority, I guess, of themes these days. But
what did you make of Becky's theme, by the way? Oh, we're on the
from SummerSlam. Oh yeah, you know what? I liked it.
It suits her. I think like Yeah, I liked it. You can always go back once she's a baby face again, go back to her classic. But I liked it. I thought it felt good. I need to listen to it properly to hear it a bit better. But
yeah, I'll also like the Wonder Years. They're a popular band, but I'll also say I like Okada's too.
Okay.
I like how it's changed, like a new version of Okada, like the like you said, as soon as he's a babyface, you just come back with the old theme. But right now, I'm kind of liking
this new packaging. Yeah.
So Myles Borne taking on Lexis King. Don't you love Lexis's theme? My life, my rules. I know you love it.
Yeah.
You know what was it? I had Jack on last week, and he said he loves the Culling theme song, and I almost ended the stream right then and there.
How does that start? It's like
the truth is dirty and fucking nasty,
but the light will set you free. It's hardly if you smell, is it?
Yeah. Not necessarily the like good little sound bit at the beginning. But my life, my rules isn't anything better. Lexis early on starts beating down on Myles and then starts shouting into his ear, "Hey, I know you can hear me in there. You're not really deaf." So he puts him in a headlock and then hits a side crossbody. And basically this whole match, he's yelling at him like, "Can you hear me? Are you deaf? Is this thing on?" Eventually Myles comes back, hits him with are you ready? Ushi Goroshi for a near fall. Love to see it. And then King comes back though and starts stomping.
Was it Booker T who was like,
what did you say?
He was like, Ushi Goroshi? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know if it was Corey that called it that. And then Vic was like, "Oh, what did you, excuse you? What did you say?" There's a plancha by Myles to the outside. And then during picture-in-picture, the commentary somehow, there's a coffee-heavy episode. They start to argue over like Starbucks orders. And then Booker T mentions like getting punched in the ear in a fight and everything. And Vic is eventually like, I haven't even been in a fight in my whole life. So like, I guess I don't know about getting punched in the ear.
I believe that.
When we come back, this is a cool spot, I guess. If the guy thinks you're deaf, if the guy thinks the deaf guy isn't deaf, I guess make him deaf is his like game plan here, because he takes Myles' ear and face and puts it in the steps and then stomps on his head, meaning his ear goes into like the steel steps. That's pretty gnarly. It looked safe with like Myles' hands and stuff there, but he continues to stomp on the ear and attack him when finally Myles comes back with a snap power slam. The baby Randy RKO chants ring out in the PC. Eventually there's like almost like a code breaker, but to the knee to Lexis, almost into the ear of Lexis as well, being like, "Hey, I'll make you deaf as well." And then he hits the zigzag, or as Vic Joseph calls, the Borne again. And the 1, 2, 3, Myles Borne pins Lexis King. And he beat him.
Yeah, I thought it was on the better end of a Lexis King match. I actually kind of liked the targeting of the ears. That's not something we often see in wrestling, but like targeting ears. It's normally, legs or arms.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Myles has managed to keep over since he had his flirt with the NXT title and the Obafemi match. I do wonder where I could see him getting stale, unfortunately. So I think they need to find ways to keep him fresh. Like the deaf thing is only going to take you so far, and you can't lean on that forever. And he's very talented aside from that being like a cool story. So maybe have him in the North American title picture or something like that coming up soon. I think him and Ethan Page could be a good little feud. And Lexis, I feel, is treading water a little bit as well. He's been in this position for a long time, and I wonder if there's any kind of thoughts of ever having him on the main roster or actually giving him a serious push, because he's just been floating around in this sort of mid-card for quite a while, it feels.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's a mid-card heel that's easy to like hate on and stuff, but I don't know if this is his ceiling. Really.
Yeah.
Like ever since coming to NXT, he's been better and improved, but then even still now he's been stagnant.
Yeah.
Again. So it's kind of like, all right, well, what do we do with you? Is there an evolution here of what we can do? And so far it's kind of the same again, like just he's the jobber mid-carder essentially, but there's room for that too. in wrestling, I guess. But we'll see with Myles. But it was all right match. It didn't necessarily do too much for me, but I want to see where we go with Myles. Like you said, Ethan Page, that could be something we could go. I'm noticing the Borne, I guess his name is Myles Borne, but Borne Again as the zigzag.
The finisher, yeah.
Did Shawn Michaels give him that name for the finishing? Is that Born Again, right? That's what comes to mind.
Born Again,
right?
yeah.
We go to a video of Dark State backstage. They're talking and rambling on about organized chaos or some Jeff Goldblum Jurassic Park thing. This is when Cutler, is it James Cutler who's in this group?
Cutler James.
Cutler, no. James Cutler James, of course it is. He steps up when he's part to talk. I don't know what's going on in NXT, but there's a whole lot of butt stuff going on these last few weeks. First, Santino calling Ethan Page a butt boy, a butthole boy. And now Cutler James saying, hey, Hank and Tank, we've been, and as it's not even what Cutler James says, it's how he says it and what he does when he says it. Okay, I guess this makes for a better YouTube stream. But Cutler James says, Hank and Tank, we've been right up your butt for a while now, and we're going to stay there. So he puts his thumb up while he's talking about being up their butt. So literally,
it's like John Cena in Trainwreck, where everything he says, like when he's saying he's going to fuck that guy up, but he's just like, it comes across very sexual.
It's like, it's like Joe Dirt,
Or is it like I know the compilations on YouTube. I show this to you all the time. Fully Loaded 2000, the promo video for Triple H.
I want Jericho's ass.
I want Jericho's ass. Where's Jericho? I want his ass. Where's Jericho's ass? I need his ass. I need Jericho's ass.
But we've been right up your butt, and we're gonna stay there. I was like, whoa, like, sorry, and like all the other guys in Dark State looked at him like, whoa, dude, chill, bro, whoa, where are you? Oh, bro, we don't need to do that. We don't need that. We don't know him. We don't claim him. So yeah, he says just the fact the thumb pose stood there for way too long with his thumb up, but he Dark State into that butt stuff. So Cutler says we've been right up your butt, and we're gonna stay there until we get those tag team titles. So a very big WTF thing from me here. This was bizarre, but they're going for the titles and they're up Hank and Tank's butt. I hope they respond with a promo that mentions this butt stuff because
or go with it because Cutler James is the most bland one of the whole group. So maybe roll with it. Have it like the other three are pretty vanilla. Cool and can talk. And every time it comes to him, he just accidentally says something unintentionally funny.
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. We go to Thea Hail taking on Nia Jax. That's right. Nia Jax back in NXT. So she heard Lash Legend talking shit. So she showed up and somehow now she's got a match with Thea Hail, and Thea made fun of her in her chaotic coffee. So let's see what happens here. Thea right away tries to run at Nia, but just gets swatted away like King Kong and the helicopters here. Nia's just beating down on her, eventually hits a Samoan drop, which crushes her. She then hits like a flapjack. And then I guess some of the fans were booing or shit talking Nia because she turns around to like the hard cam and just does a crotch chop and says, suck it to a bunch of these fans. So that was weird. And then she continues to just throw Thea around here. She throws Thea out of the ring and Thea lands on her ankle and starts to sell that maybe something's wrong there as she tweaks it. We go into picture-in-picture and Thea's just making the 10 count barely. And Nia just locks in this lazy like arm surfboard for way too long as we come back. And then there's like some slams and then a leg drop from Nia for a 2 count, showing resiliency of Thea. Thea goes for like some wheelbarrow bulldog, but it gets countered into a face buster. And then there's a huge tornado DDT. This looked pretty cool from Thea on Nia, but only a 2 count. And then Thea goes up, but Nia catches her and then throws her off the top, but like sweeps her leg. This could have been so bad. I don't think it was, but her head could have easily bounced off each of those turnbuckles. Thankfully, it didn't. I hope she's all right. And then Nia hits the Annihilator, the bonsai drop for the 1, 2, 3. And again, Nia Jax is a lot larger than Thea Hail. So this move was hopefully protected, and I think Thea got banged up in this match for sure. But it was what it was. Thea Hail bumping around for the bigger, stronger, badass Nia Jax. For what it was, I didn't mind it.
Nia's definitely improved. It's taken a long time, but I think she's the most comfortable she's been as like the monster. And I thought they gave Thea a lot here. Like, obviously, she was going to lose this match. You're setting up Nia and Lash Legend, but I thought they gave Thea enough and some, kick out from that big leg drop and stuff like that. So I thought it was a fun little like David versus Goliath match they had here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not the biggest fan of Nia, but I think used in things like this to help get other people over. Obviously, she's beating Thea Hail, but Thea got to wrestle a main roster talent, former world champ, etc., and looked pretty good kind of doing it. And obviously it's leading to something a bit bigger, which is where we go to, because Nia grabs a microphone with Kelly Kincaid in the middle of the ring and says that
Sorry, Port, do you mind just recap? I'm quickly nipping out, but recap and I'll be right back. Sorry,
yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
So Kelly Kincaid is in the ring with Nia Jax, and she says that any ring I step into is mine, including NXT. And Lash Legend, you're not going to be making a name off of my back. I'm a former champion, honey. I've beaten legends, Hall of Famers. What the heck have you done? When Lash Legend comes out and says, you're supposed to be the irresistible force, huh? Well, you're not. She kind of messes up her lines here and then chases into the ring after her. And there's a big brawl and a big pull apart, which they won't necessarily be pulled apart because they're going to be fighting for the rest of the show. But I don't know what Lash Legend was supposed to say there, but irresistible force meets the immovable object. This was not. And I'm sure Davie would agree on this right now. But we go from that. Jordan Grace is backstage with Ava, and she's still in the neck brace. And Ava's trying to calm her down, basically saying, hey, you know what? You got the match. Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace, one-on-one at Heatwave. It is official. And then says, as a woman, I just want to say that Blake deserves to get her ass kicked at Heatwave, and that, she's kind of rooting for her. So Ava's just picking favorites here on NXT. So that match is official for Heatwave, which is August 24th, Sunday. You may ask, what else is happening on that day? Also another wrestling show on that. Davie's back. That's all right. That works out.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Did you think Lash Legend was supposed to say something else, or did she just run into the ring and attack her? Because she's saying irresistible force, and then I don't know what she said, and then just goes into the ring. It was almost like she forgot about what she was gonna say and goes into the ring, or maybe she was just so charged up.
I think she was just charged up. Yeah. And this was very similar to Sheamus and Rusev from last night's Raw. Like, this is the same show, right? It's WWE, and the whole brawling around, interrupting other segments backstage was just copy and paste from last night. I don't mind it, but like,
I hate it.
It's your own program. No, it's like, it's your own programming. Like, try and find something different. Like, you literally did this whole thing yesterday.
So they did the brawling all around.
Yeah.
That thing. Like, this such
like exactly the same thing. Well, they had a match, and then the match was thrown out, and they continued, and then people were being interviewed backstage, and they'd crash into them, and it was exactly the same.
Just like, in what world do people just continuously fight and walk and fight, and then, okay, we're going to walk towards the ring, and it's like, no, people the fight would just be over if this is a real fight, probably pretty quickly. I think that's such a stupid trope in wrestling. It's got to be one of my, like, if someone were to be watching with you that isn't a wrestling fan, and you just keep seeing it's like Peter Griffin and the chicken fighting throughout the whole episode. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's a little too cheesy. I think we could do away with, like, every time it happens.
Well, it's the fact that you're to assume that they've been going at this for like an hour, right? Like,
come on, like, for a whole hour, these two are going to be fighting for this episode, fighting around the world today. We go from that. We go to, I mentioned Jordan Grace and Ava. That match is now official with Blake Monroe in the chat. in the pay-per-view backstage. They had that chat, and the match is official. We go now to the NXT champion, Oba Femi. And we have Oba come out, NXT champion, no bread, no water, just meat. And he says that 2 weeks ago, he had a hard-hitting match with Inamura and Briggs, and says that they were worthy competitors, but they were no match for the Destroyer. And they say that he asks, who's going to step up? And says that no one will, because no one is ready. He says the future isn't looking bright, because it doesn't matter if I'm here on NXT or main roster. The names will change, but the results remain the same. When he's interrupted by Trick Williams, who makes his way, and he calls Oba the big dog. And he goes, honestly, Oba, you are a big dog, but Trick Williams is the biggest dog NXT has to offer. And Oba starts to mock him doing his American voice, which I believe is his real voice, which might be weird for some people. But if you've ever seen Oba before the Oba Femi kind of character and run and streak and all that, he did use his normal voice in some interviews. And it's kind of jarring considering you just assumed that he's been using his real voice. But he mocks Trick a few times here, which I got a laugh out of. But he said, who are you trying to convince? He says, you're not that guy. Trick says, we need to talk about it. And then again, let's talk about it, says Oba. And Trick says, I made myself him. I'm not sure if this was a Carmelo Hayes reference, but I made myself him. I am that guy, and I am the big dog. When Javon Evans comes out, he says, Trick, I ain't going to lie. Your ass goofy as hell. And says that I was going to come out here and face Oba and call out Oba. I wanted to go after the biggest dog. And for some reason, you thought I was talking about you. And Trick says, once again, grown men are talking, as he's getting pretty upset with Javon. And Javon brings up an idea. What if we had a match and the winner got to face Oba? When Oba's like, yeah, do it right now. Trick says, no, you're talking goofy. All these fans are undeserving. And we could go to your city and I'll beat you there. When they're all interrupted yet again by Moose from TNA Wrestling. He comes out.
I was gutted. He changed his music.
Did he really?
His music was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, he then says, he calls Trick James and says, in 10 days, Trick, you have a date with the face of the franchise. I guess at Emergence is this what he's mentioning. I guess Trick versus Moose in the show. When the lights go out and, oh, look, it's Dark State again, as Dark State attacks all four of these guys. Eventually, Javon gets thrown on top of them onto the outside as they kind of retreat a little bit here. But Dark State being all over the show tonight. Just if you are someone who's following NXTNA, Dark State's now attacked the champions. Dark State now has attacked the TNA and NXT world champions. But Dark State couldn't beat the Major Bros at the last TNA pay-per-view. Just putting that out there, and I will not let that go. But a little bit of a chaotic thing. The Dark State thing maybe was a bit too overbooked for me, but interesting having Moose kind of being thrown back into this picture. We've seen the Moose Oba match already, obviously, but yeah, a lot to kind of take in here. I can jump ahead just a little. We are going to get a one-on-one match in 2 weeks in Philadelphia, NXT going on the road. We're going to get Javon Evans versus Trick Williams, and the winner faces Oba at Heatwave for the NXT title. And next week is Dark State versus Moose, Oba, Trick, and Javon. So
right.
A lot to take in. From
man. Yeah, I thought a pretty good, one of the more notable segments of the show, I think. I would personally like to see Moose involved with this mix a bit more. I think a Moose Javon Evans match down the line, I think would be pretty fun to have. We are kind of just like, this feud feels like it's been going on a long time. This Trick Javon Oba thing, it needs to come to a head, and it needs to then break away. Like, I think I just can't see anyone really viable to beat Oba at this point. And I think if you are going to go with Javon down the line, I do think it works better with Oba being a heel once you get there. And it doesn't feel like we're anywhere close to that happening right now. So I don't know if we're just going to end up with another multi-man that, the match is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, are we just going to set up for another triple threat, like, and it's a non-finish or something? Or do you think we're getting a clean win to determine who's facing who?
Like, if we look at all the cast of characters, and who we watch this show every week, obviously, if you were to pick one person currently in NXT to be the one guy to beat Oba's reign, I think everyone would agree it's Javon Evans. But are we going to go to that right now? Like, would we go to that right now with Trick still be? We've never even got the Trick versus Oba match. So it is kind of like, if we go to Trick versus Oba, wouldn't that want to be for double title? Or would Trick take the title from him? Would that be weird? Would we go to Javon versus Moose at Heatwave? I don't know how. I don't know when, but I would love to get the two young high flyers from TNA and NXT, Javon and Leon Slater, in a match one way or another. Hopefully,
that'd be cool
some way down the line. But I'm not.
I mean, maybe it works out better with Trick beating Oba. And Trick is double champ.
Yeah,
and maybe that makes it a clearer path for Javon, and you can do. I mean, that's a long way away doing stand and deliver, but I think Javon and Trick for the title down the line would be good.
Javon and Trick for the title, that would make a lot of sense too. Like, what if Oba loses to Trick or Javon and then goes away to main roster, like in the draft or something along those? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I find it weird. Like, we've teased Trick and Oba so much, but then now dangling Javon. There's the Moose stuff being added. I'm not quite sure what the match. Like, what if it was Trick, Javon, Moose, and Oba? Like, double title match, all the titles on the line. So therefore, Oba doesn't need to be pinned, or that would be weird, right? Like,
I mean, we've had that match already, but like, do you just go to it again? It does just feel like we're kind of treading water with these guys for a while now.
And like, okay, I'm not even like a flag bearer for TNA, but would you not want a TNA star to be the one to like have the big, like, we got this back?
Yeah.
We saved TNA because we got the title back. Now, I threw this out last week, but Leon Slater in NXT in TNA has the X Division. And the X Division title, you can use that option C and cash in. So like, there's something there with him being able to get a title shot against Trick. But then
I think he's so young and new to TNA though.
So what if AJ Styles takes the title from Leon Slater and then he saves TNA one more time to be the Mr. Face that runs the place of TNA? I think it's reaching a bit more than reaching, but like, I don't know what if you didn't pull the trigger on Santana. Like,
I think they will pull this trigger with Santana in a singles match. Like, we haven't had Trick Santana singles, have we? I don't think.
Like, is that Bound for Glory? I guess
maybe, yeah. Whereas you had the triple threat, it would have made sense. It was in the New York area, would have made a whole lot of sense to do it then. But I guess they saw more juice in Trick still being champ. I do think it'll be Santana. Like, I think Leon Slater's great, but he's pretty new to the company, and like, I wouldn't see them going that hard with him that quick.
That's what I'm saying. He's got to lose the X Division title, and then whoever wins that uses that option C thing to go like, I want my match for that title and take the title back to TNA. But I don't know. I kind of, it's muddying the Oba Femi. The Oba Femi run is weird. It's just like, hey, you're gonna face a bunch of guys no one believes is gonna beat you, and like, the matches have been good. They've been decent, but I don't think getting to like a level that maybe we could potentially get. I think just the men's roster being a bit like shallow and everything is true still. Of like, if it's going to be Javon, when are we going to pull that trigger? If it's going to be Trick, let's move things along. I think there needs to be some development or evolution of, because Oba Femi is not a heel, he's not a baby face, he's just Oba Femi, and I don't know if that's I don't know. I'm not loving the main scene. Like, think back, the Trick Javon Oba triple threat was pretty good, but would they run something back or add Moose in that? It's
just been like so many of Oba's challenges, you don't buy beating him, right? You know, it's like just a stopgap before you're building to the other thing. But yeah, it's the men's division. It's just like, these guys are great, but there's just still lack of depth. I mean, Ricky Saints does say later that he's eyeing the NXT title as well, but needs to get through Jasper Troy first. So maybe he's someone down the line. You can have him and Oba go at it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. We got to watch next week. So they did mention in 2 weeks they're in Philadelphia for NXT. So, hey, if you're in the Philly area, check out NXT. But they do also mention they're going to be going on the road in a month or so. Like there's some South Carolina and some other Atlanta again and stuff. So they're seeming to do some more of the Tuesday shows on the road again. And I'm not quite sure. I know they have announced Heat Wave, but I imagine they announce future like Halloween Havoc the same night as some other pay-per-view. Any future PLEs for NXT, just look at AEW's calendar and go, okay, they're probably going to do one there. They're probably going to do one on that day and all the same days that the other one. But I don't know if we go that like I think we should have a title change. I think Oba should lose the title in one way, shape, or form. I kind of want some switch up in NXT. I know it's not Javon's time yet, but I can't wait for that.
I can't say I'm particularly excited about the reign anymore. So it might be time to change it up.
Put him on the main roster.
Yeah.
Like, see what he can do. I'm sure he'll kill it. We see Channing Stacks Lorenzo. I guess I shouldn't call him Channing. It's just Stacks. When Ariana Gray shows up and says Channing, and he's like, whoa, it's just Stacks. I just came in to check on you. And he's like, check on me. And in come Nia and Lash brawling. Oh, and all the jobber cops. Hey, stop fighting, you two. But yeah, Stacks and Ariana having a bit of a moment. A real life couple now on screen.
Had they been shown together before today?
Don't think so.
Over the last couple of weeks?
There was something last week. There was like a passing of a look or something. So I guess that was what this was setting up here. So we go from that to Ren Sinclair and Charlie Dempsey. They're alone in the no quarter catch crew now. Aww. She says, don't worry. We still have WCQT.
She said Ren CQT.
Ren CQT. And he's like, what? And she's like, Ren Charlie quality time.
Aww.
I love Charlie's excuse for losing the guys in his group. He's like, yeah, I guess I just trained them too well. It's my own fault. I trained them so good that they were able to leave. She says, you know what always cheers me up? And he goes, I don't know if anything could cheer me up right now, Ren. And she says, well, what cheers me up is say his name and he appears. And he's like, what? What are you talking about? When the fridge near them opens and out comes Joe Hendry from the fridge. And I noticed that's when I noticed that Ren was kind of wearing her Joe Hendry shiny.
It's the shiny blue shirt, right?
And then they go to give Charlie his own blue shiny shirt. And he goes, look, I'm miserable and this is not cheering me up. And says, no, like, come on, it's Joe Hendry, you know, the viral sensation. And he goes, viral? Yeah. Do you know where the word viral comes from? It comes from virus. And that's what you are. And then he kind of walks off and she says, don't worry, maybe we'll be able to have a match or something scheduled. And then she looks at Joe and he looks at her and she says, wow, it's like looking in a mirror. So Joe Hendry joining the no quarter catch crew is what's going on.
So how long before we get Charlie Dempsey in the shirt, in the gear?
Next week. What do you
Well, they're having the match next week, aren't they?
Right.
So we need to add the stip that there'll be a team or something if Charlie loses.
Right.
Like every match Charlie has should have some sort of stipulation about joining something, leaving something. So yeah, I think Joe Hendry and Ren Sinclair are a nice little act together. Both very positive.
Like are we gonna go to Joe versus Charlie, or is it like Charlie
it's next week?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But then is Ren gonna be there, or is Ren gonna help Tavion out with something? You know, I don't know. Where will Ren choose to be? I will say a better like view on this whole thing was, of course, now Davie, we don't live together. We're not roommates. So I'm forced to watch NXT by myself most of the time. But during the Joe Hendry segment that just took place, that I just talked about, my girlfriend came into the room to say hi. And she asked me if Joe Hendry's character was that he was a real estate agent.
Oh, I don't see that. I mean, he's very...
Hold on. The logo that he uses is a very real estate agent card looking logo, like the JH thing. Just the way he dresses. And I was like, I understand that. I could see why. But then it made me think, has there not been a real estate agent like gimmick in wrestling? There, a lot of them are actually real estate agents. Actually, if you look up wrestlers after wrestling, a lot of them go into real estate, but there's never been a real estate gimmick. So there's NXT gimmick right available for someone to take.
I see his look as a lot more holiday camp entertainer, right? Like cruise ship entertainer, that kind of thing.
Jet 2 holiday, something like that. We go to Inamura taking on Stacks. They had a bit of a shoving match last week, which set this match up. And oh boy, this was a shove, because as Inamura makes his entrance, Stacks comes from behind him and just hoofs him. Like, I don't know. I think Inamura's eyebrow smacked into the apron here. I don't know if he was ready for that. That looked like it hurt. The match starts anyways. There's Stacks just beating down on him. There's these running knees to him, just continues to punch him and strike him. When Inamura finally starts to come back, he's lighting him up with those sumo strikes and the chops and all over the place. They start to go onto the outside, and they're continuing going back and forth. When Ariana shows up, she starts to distract Inamura and then slaps him, and the referee now gets involved. He didn't call for the DQ. This would be a total DQ if it was SmackDown versus Raw or 2K or something like that. But the ref is now like, hey, you need to get out of here, leaving Inamura in the ring with no ref looking. Josh Briggs appears out of nowhere, boots Inamura in the face. Stacks rolls in the ring and pins Inamura with Ariana and Josh Briggs' help, leading me to believe we're going towards a Ariana and Stacks on-screen relationship pairing here, because they cheated. And also, I think we're going to Briggs versus Inamura at Heatwave.
Great. Like, yeah, that sounds awesome. We've been wanting Briggs to kind of break out for a while. I think a heel run would be good for him. And I think him and Inamura will have a really hard-hitting match. Like, that sounds awesome. And hopefully Briggs is someone you can build up to be an actual contender towards the top of the card. I also love the pairing of Stacks and Ariana. I mean, if you've seen any of their TikToks and things like that, they're a pretty funny couple. And I think they do have chemistry that kind of comes across on screen really well. And I think it would be good pairing these two up.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I think last week was the Tony Soprano, Tony D'Angelo moment, like his finale, if you will. You did miss a lot last week, Davie. I'll fill you in, but I don't think we're going to be seeing Tony D'Angelo on NXT anymore.
Oh,
basically. So wow. This is a new direction for Stacks, completely ignoring like everything. Also, where's his cup? Did they mention his cup is in like storage or hiding or locked up somewhere? Isn't he the cup winner? He's the Heritage Cup.
Oh,
champion.
yeah. I was wondering that.
I think someone made a reference that he's got it like hidden somewhere.
I mean, you can't just carry it around with you all the time, can you?
Then don't make it a championship. No, you gotta imagine you win it and you gotta carry it to the airport.
The Stanley Cup winners don't carry it around game to game. It's locked up here in Toronto, isn't it?
Isn't that the fake one? Isn't there?
I think the real one's at the Hall of Fame.
One's here.
No? Yeah. Here.
And then when you win it, you get to have it for a day, right? That's
something like that. And
so
then
the Heritage
then it ends up in the Oval Office, doesn't it?
No, just imagine like he's lucky. I guess NXT is usually just in Florida, but like for the Philly show, no, you got to take it through the airport.
Yeah,
you got to take the cup through. What's the story of Big Show in WCW when he won the belt? Hogan and all the guys ribbed him, like, you have to wear it through the airport, and then he realized they were fucking with me because now everyone's like, what a fucking who is this guy with this thing? Yeah, imagine the Heritage Cup just walking through. We should put the Heritage Cup in Hockey Hall of Fame too. Fuck it. Okay, Ethan Page makes his way, the North American champion, the new Canadian North American championship. He comes out saying this is his 70th day as North American champion. He says Santino and his sock couldn't get the job done, but on a positive note, at least he's still Canadian, which means he's better than all of you people here. as they boo him. Lots of boos from the PC here. There's one guy in the crowd orchestrating it, being like, everyone, come on, boo this guy, boo this guy. So he's part of the show. At least it was work. You were actually booing the heel here. Makes sense, PC. He then says he's just Canadian, and it's not just North American, but I'm the best Canadian and the best North American. You see, there's people like Alexander Graham Bell. There's people like Wayne Gretzky. The best there was, Bret Hitman Hart. But the number one greatest Canadian of all time is me, Ethan Page. And then he starts to sing the national anthem when he's interrupted by Tavion Heights. Earlier, he said he's going to make an impact. He says, yo, chill with that. He goes, you need to be knocked off sucking on that maple leaf perch you're on there. He says, I need to break out, and I'm going to take my moment and make it with you. And Ethan laughs and says, look, kid, you need to learn how to walk and run before you can dance with all ego. And there was a few times here, I guess Tavion maybe shook a little. He kept saying, guess what, buddy? You know what, buddy? Guess what, buddy? I'm not your buddy, pal. He says, you had another thing coming. But before Ethan can even retaliate, Chelsea Green comes out with her, let me get this right, Slagents, right?
Excuse me?
Slagents.
The secret harvest?
Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just repeating what was said to me on television. Slagents, not agents. Slagents.
Because they slay Queen. Right.
And these are the last time I've seen these two was NXT. What is this? Viper and Kaylee Ray? Piper
Niven and Alba Fire. That's
Alba Fire, right, of course. Yeah. So they're there as her Slagents. What did you call them? Her service?
They're the secret Hervis.
Hervis, right.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse. I think that's worse. Hervis? Come on. What are you? No. Chelsea has a microphone with her Slagents, and she says, I'm Chelsea Green, and I was the first ever North American women's champion, and says that I've inspired millions, and says a great line here, the best American heroes come from Canada. Damn, think about that for a second. Wolverine, Superman, come on, all of the good. Jim Carrey. We got some people that we got some characters out there that most people think are American, but are actually from.
Jim Carrey's a superhero?
Yeah, man. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Stop that. She says that I'm proud Canadian, but I'm one of the best as well. And she says, she gets in Tavion's face and says, you're very cute when you're angry, but you're just a trashy American. And maybe you wouldn't have the balls to hit a woman like me. He's like, you're right. I don't. And then he smacks Ethan Page. And it's a big out brawl, and they also mentioned that maybe if you can find a friend, we'll have a match. So it sounds as if we're gonna go towards Ethan Page and Chelsea Green taking on Tavion and a partner of his choice. Which again, it makes me believe maybe that would be Ren, considering the no quarter catch crew stuff. But it really cool to see Chelsea Green and the whole Canadian kind of thing, Alpha Force here essentially, but. Kind of weird how we kind of got there, maybe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's just they do this every week, don't they? Bring someone down from the main roster. Chelsea's not doing a whole lot right now. Why not pair her up with this? I do see it being Ren Sinclair who she'll have the match with.
Yeah, I think so. And then eventually, like either the pay-per-view Heatwave, Tavion versus Ethan Page. But I'm liking the Canadian synergy here.
Yeah,
with Chelsea and Ethan Page. But if you were to pick what other great Canadians? He mentioned Wayne Gretzky. A lot of Canadians maybe wouldn't put him on that list right now. He's on timeout with some Canadians. But Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone.
Yeah.
Is there any other Canadians out there that you think would be the greatest Canadian of all time?
Greatest Canadian of all time.
John Candy.
John Candy's good. Yeah.
I think that's about it.
Well, who's Meryl Streep's guy?
Martin Short.
Martin Short.
He's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
All the SDTV. Yeah, Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
We got some good ones, but the greatest, that's tough. That's up for debate, I guess. But Ethan Page putting his name in the hat there.
He's up there.
Yeah, he is. Shout out Hamilton. We go to Lola Vice and Kelani Jordan backstage. They're discussing all the mean stuff that's been going on here with Fatal Influence. When JC and Fallon walk in maniacally laughing, like, they basically say, you guys should run away. Don't even step to us. When Jasmine comes in with the titles, she actually got the titles shined up here for JC, and then laughs at them saying that, I asked Ava for a match, and I guess I found your opponents now. So next week, Lola and Kelani versus JC and Fallon, and Jasmine refers to Fallon as JC's sidekick, which pisses Fallon off here. So some dissension in the world of Fatal Influence.
Yeah, they're all getting at each other now. It's not just JC making the comments, but Jasmine's making them as well. Fallon is. Terry Fox, greatest Canadian.
Okay, yep. I could vouch for that. Did you look up a list here?
I did. Frederick Banting, who co-discovered insulin. Like, that's pretty important. That's a pretty big discovery.
So he's okay. Mike Myers above him, though, for me. Personally.
Insulin's pretty important.
Bro, you know I love Shrek and Austin Powers. Come on, man. Come on. That's
but
bangers.
the Love Guru.
Oh, yeah, that does. Yeah, that's why maybe Jim's more up there. Love Guru, but then Jim's also done Me, Myself, and Irene. So
Terry Fox is great, but he didn't finish the race, did he? So
how do I give me your Canadian citizenship back? Take that back. You take that back. How dare you? They're putting out the Terry Fox shoes. I really want them.
So Celine Dion, I think I'll sell.
Celine. Oh, Celine. They don't have
Although
Celine
she's
shoes.
French Canadian, so it
doesn't count. They don't even want to be Canadian. They don't even want to be part of us. Come on. I guess Terry Fox. I'll go with that. Second place, John Candy. First place.
Whenever I hear Terry Fox, in my head, I just picture Terry Crews, and I'm sure Terry Fox looked nothing like.
If you
Terry
put them
Crews.
together, that'd be sick. Terry.
That
Fox.
would be just the greatest human of all time, wouldn't it?
Terry Crews Fox.
Yeah.
No, I want those shoes though. Anyone got a link on the Terry Fox shoes? I want one.
Is it just one shoe?
Just one, yeah. We pissed off enough Canadians, but we're Canadian, so we can make these jokes, all right? So fuck the US dollar. Hopefully the border agents tomorrow morning don't hear this show. Or I guess that won't matter.
That'll be the way back, won't they?
Yeah. You're allowed back into Canada now. Anyways. Shout out Terry Fox. We go to more there's a lot of backstage. There's a lot of talking on this episode. So Soul Ruca getting ready for her match with Zarya. And then before they can even really get into a conversation, Lash Legend and Nia Jax are still fighting around the world today. And here they are just fighting. They're just fighting through like nooks and crannies of this venue. Like, why did you need to fight through this tiny hallway of pipes? You didn't need to. There's all these other hallways. There's a whole gym. There's a ring to fight in.
We said this before, but why is there always pipes everywhere?
Yeah.
Well? What's with the pipes?
Pipes. Always pipes. Oba, Javon, Trick, and Moose are with Ava. She says Philly in 2 weeks will be the Javon versus Trick match. Winner faces Oba at Heatwave. But next week, Dark State versus the four of you will happen. And then Hank and Tank walk in. They're angry at Dark State. And she says that two of the Dark State members will face you at Heatwave as well. So lots of Dark State coming soon. We have a sit-down interview with Ricky Saints and Kelly Kincaid. She says, hey, ever since coming to NXT, you've had a crazy run. That'd be the word I use to describe it, I guess. She says, you won the North American title and then you got injured. And then now Jasper Troy is out to you. Doesn't sound that crazy. He says that Ethan Page is jealous and desperate, but this new guy, Jasper, is young, angry, and inexperienced. So I'm stuck in a rock in a hard place. And one day I'll be on Monday nights or Friday nights. But right now I got to find my way through. And Jasper's in my way. And in 2 weeks, I believe they said that they're going to have the rematch of
in
Ricky.
Philly.
Yeah. So Jasper versus Ricky. I know what they're doing here. And they got to, try some stuff with Jasper and whatever. But I just thought this was like, oh, yeah, your run here has been kind of shit. You've been feuding with Ethan. You lost, and then now you're facing the guy who won LFG, and you lost that match too. So,
yeah, I don't know. It feels like they're just keeping him on the back burner a little bit until maybe whatever with Trick, Javon, and Oba is finished. That I mean, at least this is the first time I feel he's mentioned actually wanting the NXT title.
Yeah.
So which is good, but I can't say I'm particularly excited for him to get through this Jasper Troy feud to start with.
Yeah, like I think down the line, if we were to get like some verbal sparring from Ricky and Trick, that could be some good stuff. But
That'd be good.
I'm not sure if like we're gonna just hot shot Ricky to that title right away. The TNA title, though, you could go for it, maybe, possibly. We have another match announcement: Lash versus Nia. They were fighting all over the place. They're gonna fight next week in a match. At this point, you think they would stop fighting? Wrong. They're gonna fight some more. Don't worry. This was funny. So on top of Moose trying to slide in during his promo early about like, hey, don't forget to catch TNA Emergence next week when I face you, Trick, and bring back that title. What was even just weirder was them trying to slide in to watch Triple Mania on the WWE YouTube. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm watching on Canada Netflix here, but they didn't show any graphic. They just showed a picture and a video of some lake in Florida. While Corey Graves decided to tell me all about Triple Mania, but he didn't show me anything or anything. So I was like, that's kind of weird. They would just throw that out there. Hey, watch Triple Mania in 2 weeks on our YouTube.
They've been showing the commercials, so at least they did on Raw yesterday, and I think they did over SummerSlam as well.
Like for Triple Mania.
Yeah.
And
that
so like, yeah, they didn't show that here.
Probably be the highest watched Triple Mania of all time. But are you questioning that maybe it's not on the
I'm wondering if like they're not showing me for a reason. I'm not sure. It was weird that he's like clearly reading what he's supposed to say, but it's like a video of like a fountain in Florida somewhere. I'm like, where's the graphics and videos and stuff? So it was weird. We have our main event, Tatum Paxley with the culling. The truth hurts, but eventually it'll set you free or something like that.
Yeah.
Tatum Paxley versus Sol Ruca, the North American champion, putting the title on the line with Zarya ringside. We have Sol Ruca in her denim surfer gear and Tatum Paxley in her red, I don't know, Annabelle type gear.
Yeah, red little skirt and
scary thing. So right away they're going at it, drop downs and everything. Eventually Paxley locks Sol into that overhead submission choke kind of thing. Sol gets out of it and then locks in like Mexican surfboard here, which then the crowd start to do the wave. And I think this is the only time when the wave was purposely done, not in a disrespectful kind of thing. Because there was reports of SummerSlam where people were doing the wave during some matches. Right. Maybe they were just promoting Sol Ruca. They were just,
what I noticed is it was just they do one wave, right? It would go around once and then they'd stop rather than keep going, which is normally a sign of boredom, but it's a surf wave.
So the surfboard here, not the like standing surfboard that she usually does, but she'll get to that. She's riding the wave. She hits her flying X Factor for a 2 count on Paxley. The culling start to get involved, so Sol hits this huge moonsault to the outside onto all of them. That looked pretty good. During picture-in-picture, Tatum is in control. She starts to choke her in the corner with her legs, eventually hits a DDT for a 2 count when we come back. There's a second attempt, but Sol cartwheels out of it, flips, and then there's a series of super kicks, and then a rude awakening from Sol. Paxley comes back with this whisper in the wind type beat here. Looked pretty cool.
This looked great. Yeah, it was like a lion salt kind of
whisper in the wind
moonsault, but with the twist like a whisper in the wind. Looked very good.
Sol kicks out of that. Eventually they're fighting up top and there's a sunset flip powerbomb from Sol and then goes for the spear but runs into the pole. There was a great near fall like hope spot for Paxley here. She goes for her like SOS, but it's Sol who counters it into this crucifix pin, but Paxley kicks out of that. I thought that was it as well. Eventually there's like a top rope back and forth where Sol looks like she's going for something, but kind of loses her balance, which is pretty rare for Sol Ruca. But eventually she gets back up there, only to be hit with this top rope avalanche, almost like a twist of fate or a twisting neck breaker from Paxley. This is pretty impressive as well. But Sol kicks out of it. And as this is all going on, wouldn't you know it, Lash legend Nia Jax are still fighting as they brawl ringside, and everyone's fighting, all these security guards, jobber cops. Lash legend spears Nia through the barricade, all while the culling hand Tatum a doll. And as she has the doll, but she's distracted, I'm not sure what to do, Soul Ruca hits the Soul Snatcher for the 1, 2, 3 to retain her North American Championship. And what I thought was a pretty good match up until Nia Jax and Lash Ledner just fighting out there for no reason yet again in a weird, embarrassing wrestling trope I think should go away. But beyond that, I thought Tatum and Soul definitely stepped it up.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised this was the main event. Like, I think Tatum's good in ring, but I just don't think she's never felt like a big deal in NXT. And for this to go on last, but I think she showed up. She showed some new stuff in her game, which was nice to see and worked quite nicely with Soul. I wonder if we're going to get some sort of rematch down the line, because Lash and Nia kind of cost it a little bit for Tatum. So I wonder if we'll get a redo down the line.
Yeah, I kind of know what you mean. It's like there was all this weird, like I thought the match was actually good with some of these crazy spots that Paxley was doing, Soul was doing. And then that just was like, oh, we're going to that, which is kind of weird. So also the look after is like Tatum's all sad and the culling are like giving looks to each other, almost like they're going to cull her. So maybe Tatum won't be involved in this group. I'm not sure, but I thought the wrestling, that was probably like my match of the night with this episode, because the women definitely always show up in NXT. Yeah. So there you go. That was NXT from August 5th, 2025. Some things I liked. Nothing necessarily super pissed me off. So I guess that was what put me in a good mood. But
middle of the road episode, I thought. Nothing too notable. There wasn't any like big story developments, just kind of gradually moving on. We see where some of the pieces are moving towards Heatwave and the Philly show coming up soon. And I'd say there was the main event was probably the best match on the show, but nothing blow away either, but nothing really bad this week.
Yeah, so we got Heatwave to look forward to. Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe has been announced. Trick or Javon versus Oba, and the tag team title match, Dark State and Hank and Tank. And then I imagine Briggs, Inamura, maybe a few other things in there as well. So I don't know, gearing up to look good. Heatwave is the same day as Forbidden Door, but Heatwave starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I don't think Forbidden Door will be over by then. If you look at how long AEW shows go.
Forbidden Door is 2:00, isn't it?
I think it's 3.
Is it 3? Okay.
Could be wrong. So that's a tough one there for the wrestling fans that.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but
it's a Sunday, is it? Or a Saturday?
It's a Sunday, dude.
Sunday.
But like the same, we like the Sunday pay-per-views. We just don't like when the pay-per-views are the same day.
Yeah.
Because we want to watch the wrestling and it's making us choose and this and that. And we are doing a Forbidden Door watch party in Toronto at Wide Open. Follow the space. If you're in the city and you're listening, you want to come hang out and stuff. We will be putting that up soon. Hopefully soon. It's in a few weeks, but that might screw us for doing a review that night because we kind of want to hang out with our friends and watch Forbidden Door all day and everything. So we'll have to make up our mind, but we ain't making up our mind right now or tonight. So we'll talk about that when we get to that bridge.
We'll figure it out.
When we get there,
they're just making life so difficult for us.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was NXT. Some thumbs in the middle from me as well. And but I am looking forward to some of the stuff we got announced. They're moving on the road again, switching things up, pivoting with Stacks, with Ariana, no Tony, no family. Hopefully we get some good stuff and some good matches. Do we have any feedback? I'm sure.
It doesn't look like we do, actually.
Okay. No one's written in. Megan, Frank, they're all taking the night off, and that's okay with me. Appreciate anyone out there listening to us. We do this every Tuesday night, 10:05 p.m. We will be back next week right here on the Post Wrestling channel. YouTube will be live talking about some NXT. Whatever goes on next week, we'll be here to talk all about it. We will be live, Poisonrana live, 1 p.m. Eastern this Sunday on the Poisonrana YouTube. Audio goes up later on our Spotify, Apple, whatever podcast app you use. Search Poisonrana. Give us a follow on that or on our YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff at Poisonrana Pod. Check out all the other shows that we do. We have tons and tons of content out there for your ears and eyes all over the internet. We appreciate all the listeners and friends and everyone out there. And we'll talk with you soon. We're going to wake up real early to get on the road to Cleveland tomorrow for some Dynamite. And
have you packed?
Absolutely not. So
It's only a night.
It's a
easy
day.
enough.
Yeah. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. Again, appreciate all the love out there. We'll chat with you very, very soon. Poisonrana.ca for everything else. That is it. That is all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. Shout out Terry Fox. And as Cutler James would say, we've been right up your butt.
Ahoy!